Hi guys, how y'all doing? I know it's been a long time, right? So, what I'm doing is I'm starting this self-care area of our YouTube page. And I decided to do this because for some of you who don't know, um, I've suffered from um, anxiety, depression for a number of years. Ever since I started losing the babies around 2012, 2013. So I was on medication, but I felt like the medication really wasn't helping or solving the issue. Um, the doctors kept switching medications, trying to get or put me on what was right for me. And what I've learned is just because you are depressed, just because you have anxiety, does not mean you need to be on medication. And I'm not knocking those who are on medication. I've just found here recently, maybe the last couple of years, that the medication is not for me. So now I'm not saying that it didn't help. It did help in those difficult times. And again, I'm not knocking those who are on medication. I feel like if you feel like you need to be on medication and the medication is working for you, that's what you need to do. But as far as my situation, I started tweaking certain areas of my life. Now, when we were going through the loss of the babies and, me having to deliver stillborns and all of these things, at that time, the medication did help, but something still felt off. Something still was wrong. So, that's what I've been trying to fix. These last few years, I've been trying to figure out what's completely wrong with me and how can I fix that in a way to where I can still go about my everyday life. Some of the medication that I was on, at some points in my life, I couldn't even work. And I think those were the medications that were too strong for me. Then I had some medications that didn't feel like they were doing anything at all. So maybe about a year or two ago, I felt like I was having a breakdown, like full-blown mental breakdown. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what was wrong. And so I just prayed about it. And I know that might seem cliche, but I'm being honest. I pray and I talk to God on a regular. And I feel like that I know when I hear his voice. I know when he's talking to me. And I just prayed. And I kept praying until he was giving me a path to go down on what to do. And the first thing that I felt like he was telling me to do was to get healthy. You got to get healthy. First, we can start fixing your mind by getting you healthy. And so what I started doing was I started walking every day. 15 minutes a day. It's all I did. 15-minute walks every day, maybe 20, but I would just walk. And that was tiring me out. So you know how out of shape or how bad I was feeling, because the 20-minute walks were just doing me terrible. So then I stepped that up from 15 minutes a day to 20 minutes to 20 minute walks a day. So I will walk early in the morning and then late at night. And I wasn't walking out in my neighborhood. I was actually going to the gym, getting on the treadmill, just walking. That was it. And I started to feel better. Well, first, let me say I wasn't feeling better at first. I was sore at first. I was sore. I was hurting. I was tired. I don't know why, Lord, you have me doing this. Okay. And so I can tell by after a month or a few weeks of doing that, started getting a little bit more energy. At first, I was just super tired, super sore. Didn't know what I was doing. Like, this is not what I should be doing, right? And over time, it started getting easier. So I started increasing my walking, and I started increasing it to 30 minutes a day, twice a day, 45 minutes a day, then twice. So right now, my schedule changed. So I can't do the twice a day right now. So I'm doing an hour and a half cardio, just walking a day at one time. And what I found in the first week, even though I was sore, even though I was hurting, what I found was my mood was different, I was just a little bit more happier, a little bit more easygoing. Even though I felt like some of the depression and anxiety was still there, the walking helped. It made it easier. And the more I walked, the more easier it got, right? So not only did it help my mental health, but then I started seeing, hey, this dress is a little too big. This shirt is a little too big. So I did started losing some weight on top of that. And then once that happened, then my mood, my mental health started to get better. Also, what I started to do was, once I got that under control, once I had a walking regimen, what I started to do was things that focused more on me. So y'all know that I'm married, I have kids, and everybody always needs something, right? So if they don't need something, and then Jonathan needs something, and then you have every day where you're just giving, right? Everybody's taking, and it's draining. It's mentally and physically draining. Like, they're sucking the life out of you. Now, I don't know if that's how you guys feel or have felt, but that's what I was feeling. I was feeling like I was drowning and I couldn't come up for air, right? And so I had to try to find a way, besides going to the gym and doing my cardio, just doing my walking, I had to try to find a way to where I just thought about myself. And I don't want to sound selfish, but if that's what you want to call it, then you have to be selfish a little bit. You have to say, okay, I need to do something that just focuses on me. It's kind of hard when everyone's at home, right? So sometimes maybe if you have that window space where you can wait till you get the kids on the bus, and do something for yourself. Just yesterday, I went out. I had to study for this test, but I went out and I had breakfast by myself. Just me, and I do different things like that just to try to connect with Deborah, see who Deborah is. Like, I don't really know who Deborah is, right? I'm John's mom, I'm Jason's mom, I'm Jonathan's wife, right? Um, but I didn't know myself fully and what I wanted and what I liked to do. And because it's always everybody else around, you're always trying to please everybody else, right? You're always trying to do what everyone else wants to do. And I wasn't doing what Deborah wanted to do. And so I wasn't neglecting my family. I just felt like sometimes I needed to get away. And I know everybody doesn't have that luxury of getting away, right? So you have single mothers. They can't say, hey, watch the baby to their husband or to their boyfriend. I'm going to go. You have, like, I'm a single mom. I can't do that, which is totally understandable. So those are the times where you pay for a babysitter and go out and do something, or you wait till the kids are on the bus or at school, or you wait until you put them to bed at night. There are times I wait till I put everyone to bed and I just take a meditation time just for myself. Just the other day, not the other day, maybe about a couple of weeks ago, I went and had lunch by myself, had a glass of wine, a couple of apps, did some studying, sat there by myself, talked to myself a little bit. Maybe some of the people thought I was crazy, right? But I feel like you have to have those moments where it's just you, where you have to figure out, what do I like to do? What do I want out of life? Where do I see myself in the next couple of years? Where do I see? And don't get me wrong, some people have this down pat. They don't need that self-care time. As for me, I feel like that's what I needed to get myself out of the rut that I was in, right? So with everybody needing something every day. And then we have holidays. And so I cook every holiday, or we're going somewhere, or it's always hectic, right? It's hectic. And so Christmas time, you got to buy gifts and you got to cook and you're worried about everyone else. And if you let it, it will consume you, right? So I wanted to start doing things for me. Don't get me wrong, I used to go to the nail shop. I guess that could be a form of self-care. I just felt like that wasn't enough self-care that I needed, right? So I'll go on walks, sometimes down the sidewalk in the neighborhood by myself. I'll go in my room, I'll close my door, I'll put on some music, and I'll do some things that I like to do if I can't get away, you know? Jonathan and I, we go out together. We try to go on dates maybe about once or twice a month. That goes to show you how hectic it is, right? And so I love those times that I get to spend with him. But there are also times where I feel like it's necessary for me to go and be alone. You know, not to say that I don't love the company of my husband, because I do, but I need that space away from him, just as I know he needs that space away from me, right? So, and then giving each other that space, when we come back together, that just makes us better people, right? So, I decided to do this little self-care area of our YouTube channel, just to show women, and especially moms, and especially single moms, or, you know, that we have to have that time for us. How can we be there for others when we're lacking the time to spend with ourselves, right? So, maybe about 2 weekends ago, I went to the store. I went and got my toes done. I went and bought me some flowers. Um, I just did some things for myself. And everything that I do, it doesn't cost money, you know, because sometimes I'm just walking. Like my cardio time, my walking time, that is part of my self-care time. Because let's be real, a lot of us women, our families can't make it without us, right? So we have to take care of ourselves. We have to spend that time into making ourselves better, because if we're better, everyone else is better, right? And there are women out there who don't have kids, but you have nieces, you have nephews, you have sisters, you have brothers, right? To where they need things also. So you want to try to find, and if you can't do it every day, every other day, every 2 days, every 3 days, once a week, you will be surprised how taking time out for yourself, just once a week, will help your mental health, right? So, there was a time where I would smoke the occasional joint or two, right? This was like some years ago. But what I found is self-medication doesn't help your mental health. A lot of people say, oh, yes, it does. No, it is a fact that self-medication doesn't help your mental health. If anything, self-medication hinders your mental health, right? Because you're not in your right state of mind when you're on any type of self-medication. And I used to tell myself, oh, weed is for the earth, you know? But it also alters things going on in your brain. And actually, marijuana hurts your anxiety and your depression. Makes you more anxious, makes you more depressed, even though you think that it's helping. It's not. Don't argue with me on this either, because I'm going to school for this right now. So these are the things I've learned. So if your doctor has told you that smoking weed is good for you, that it's helping you, you need to run, right? So unless you have glaucoma, unless you have, what do you call that? Is it multiple sclerosis? Unless you have some things, I don't know if that, I don't know if that's what Montel Williams have, is MS. I think so. Like, unless you have certain things like that where you're using this as a medication, that this medication is helping you in that area, then no. You're taking a prescription, then no, it's not helping. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not helping. So you have to find things that are healthy to help your mental health, right? So a lot of people don't know 20 minutes of walking a day improves your mental health by, I think, like 20%, right? So just by you walking 20 minutes a day, you're already improving your mental health. Just by you taking the time to focus on yourself is going to make those around you happy as well as you. And it's going to make them want to be around you. I remember there was a point in time, like, I didn't really want to be around anyone. I wanted to be by myself. I just wanted to stay away. And that was just my mental health, you know? And so I had to try to find a way to get a control of it, okay? And then let's not talk about working. Let's not talk about going to school. Let's not talk about all of these things. And I'm not trying to knock fathers, dad, men in general, because I think mental health is serious for all of us. I just feel like as a woman, as a black woman, as a mom, as a wife, that sometimes we put this on the back burner. Oh, it's nothing wrong with me. Oh, it's nothing I can't deal with. Oh, I can get through it. Oh, it's okay. Oh, this is what I do. But then after a while, you start to break down just like a car. Your car needs an oil change. It needs a tune-up. It needs new tires. It needs, all these different things to help it run for a long period of time. You want to get your best use out of it. And so I look at my body as I would do my car. You want to take care of it. You want to make sure everything is fine-tuned, that you got a tune-up, that you got things changed, that you're constantly making yourself better. Because as we get older, it doesn't get better, it gets worse, right? So I started this section of the YouTube channel called Self-Care, where I'm just going to show y'all things that I'm doing, talk to you about things that I'm going through, and maybe it can help someone else, all right? So since I've been on this journey, I've lost 65 pounds. Yeah, 65. I know you probably can't see it in my face because still a little round, but I've lost 65 pounds. Now, do I necessarily see the 65 pounds? I see it in my clothes. I had to go down like 3 dress sizes. Don't worry, I'm still in like 2X, but hey, that's good for me because I was in like 5, 6X, And, but when I look in the mirror, I still see the same thick girl, fat girl, whatever you want to say, right? So I know there are still areas in my mind and my body that I need to work on, but I'm starting to feel better about myself. I'm starting to feel better about my mental health, about my relationships with people, my relationship with my husband, my relationship with my kids. Like, I'm starting to feel better. I'm starting to do better. And so I feel like a lot of times we don't take that time out to say, okay, something's wrong. I don't feel right. What do I need to do? And I feel like this was God was telling me to do. If you don't get healthy, you're going to die. If you don't get your mental health under control, it's just going to get worse. If you don't get yourself healthy, if you don't start doing some self-care, taking care of yourself, you're not going to be a nurse. You're not going to be a nurse practitioner, and this is not going to work. So these are the things that were hard for me to hear. It was hard for me to hear that, hey, Deborah, you're not healthy. You're getting bigger, and you're getting older, right? And so I had to figure out what to do and how to do it. And the first thing I did was I just started walking. I just started walking and talking to myself. That's it. Nothing else. Walking, talking to myself. And it went from there. So I just wanted to talk to you guys for a minute, give you an outlook or an idea of what this self-care part of our page is. And I just want to let you know that even though it's hard because you do so much in a day, right? But you give time to your kids, you give time to your spouse or your boyfriend, you give time to your job, you give time to all these areas in your life. You have to stop and give time for yourself, right? So I hope on this journey that I'm going through that you guys will support me, because I really do need the support, and I will support you too, you know. And even for those who aren't people of faith, you know, there are some who don't believe in God, or they believe in God but differently from what I do or from what I feel. So I'm not saying that you can't go on this walk or go on this journey with me. You know, I think it's all a learning tool for us all. Just by talking about mental health, talking about self-care, talking about ways to better ourselves as an individual. Because if you can be good and better for yourself, then you can go out here and be better for others. You know, I remember listening to, I don't know that girl's name. I think her name is Michelle something from Destiny's Child, right? I believe she was going through some type of mental health. And I understood what she was going through to a degree. Like I say, some people go through it worse than others, but I understood what she was talking about, what she was going through, because I was going through the same thing. And a lot of times you have a lot of friends and family who are going through mental health crises, and you don't know. You never know what someone's going through behind closed doors. So I just hope that starting this section of our YouTube channel, help encourages someone. Like I say, I have a long way to go, but this is motivation for me too, you know. And if it's just one person out there that can relate to what I'm going through, or that can understand what I'm going through, or that tries to make a change in their life as well, then I feel like, okay, I'm good, you know? So, I'm not going to hold you guys. I'm going to let you go. I probably won't do all this talking all the time. Like, I think I'm at 30 minutes. I can't see. So I just wanted to let y'all know what was going on. Hey, Jonathan's still here. He's somewhere around here. The kids, school, work, all that good stuff. I'm not saying that you won't hear me talking about them from time to time, but mostly this part of our YouTube channel, I just focus on me, or I just focus on women, or I just focus on self-care, you know, or it doesn't have to be just women. It can be men too, you know, because men need self-care just as much as women do. So I'm not going to say I'm going to focus on women. I'm going to say I'm going to focus on self-care. That's the main goal. That's why it's titled self-care. Okay? So, just know if you have any ideas for me as far as self-care, let me know. I'll be happy to hear your ideas. Something new for me to do, something new for me to try. And yeah, we're gonna take the first step now, and we're gonna go from here and see where this journey takes us, okay? Thank y'all for listening to me. Thank you for tuning in, and we're gonna see what happens, okay? Okay.